to me, this is the most interesting thing in all of the internet, right? And the reason being, a couple of years ago, I started thinking pretty deeply about this idea of like audience is the new currency. And I think a lot of people use that as like, oh, some advertisers are going to come pay me money and then I can simply, post or do whatever and I get that cash. But what you're talking about, there's a very well-known author who one time said to me, if somebody's willing to pay me to reach my audience, that means that that audience is more valuable to me than it is to them. Right. And basically I can sell my own things through all this kind of stuff. And they started to walk me through like, looking for very specific types of products that were high margin that he could sell through, that he knew that there was a wide enough kind of interest in his audience. And like, he was very, very smart about it. And it sounds like you guys are thinking through a lot of that same stuff. Has it been driven at all, or do you see corollary kind of analysis to what whether it's Kylie Jenner, Kanye West, like a number of these people have done where they already had built-in audiences and then they went and created a product? It feels like that's a much more repeatable, sustainable business model, given that you retain ownership of that audience, right? And so you can build multiple products and multiple companies and keep kind of bringing them more and more things over time, rather than just an advertiser comes one time, you advertise once and then they're gone. Like the company piece seems more sustainable and repeatable, right?
Of course. Yeah, you control it. I mean, especially in the influencer and content creator business is advertisers are afraid. They're afraid, and their expectations are so high because people are comparing YouTube to television. They're saying, okay, well, you spent this much money on that TV show that had 2 million views. Well, I'm getting 10 million views. So I'm 5 times more. And, there's always a tug of war between the creator and the advertiser. And then the advertiser eventually says, okay, someone at the office says, hey, you know what, you might be right. Let's give it a shot. And then the conversion's not the same because people on the internet just don't want to see ads. They don't have to see ads. On television, you're kind of stuck. You're forced, unless, you're previously recorded and you fast forward through it. But, or if it's a radio, station, like, you're kind of forced unless you just switch the station. But on the internet business, it's just like, the conversion is so much lower that, then the advertiser says, that person was wrong. Oh, by the way, look at this guy. He's now swearing in his content, or he's smoking weed, or he did this, or she did that. And then, and then someone says, hey, why did you do that? That wasn't children friendly, and then all this whole mess comes in and the advertiser pulls out and we never hear from them again. So, and I don't blame the advertiser, right? It is the wild, wild west on the internet right now. People are just, the more yourself, the better your content, your better your channel is going to grow. But the more yourself, the more, you're less political, you're less phony. So, it's not what the advertisers want to see. They want to see the picture perfect version of you. So, advertisers say, okay, this is not for us. So then where does that leave? When you went back bragging about getting 10 million views, how are you going to now make money? You're just going to brag about the 10 million views and live at home or live on your buddy's couch, so that's when, then you got to go and you got to create your own t-shirt and create a culture and a following, and not a following the number, following somebody that really cares about you, and build and have them join this culture, have them join this clique or squad, whatever you want to call it, and buy a product. And now that money goes directly to you. Shopify sends daily deposits. So you're literally making money every single day when you wake up.
How much data goes into determining what products or companies to build versus it's like the creator's intuition and just personal interest?
I think so. It's like creating a video. You're gonna, sometimes we're even guilty of this. We'll create a video that we just wanted to do and it just doesn't register with the audience. And we'll just keep doing it and doing it and doing it until it's something that we're passionate about. And then the audience and then you see the views and engagement go up. I think a product that a creator really wants to get behind is kind of gonna have to be the same thing. You could take advice from people. You could, right? Like right now, CAA has CAA labs where they really take, I haven't used it, but I've heard about it and I know the people behind it. They're very smart people. So, they're going in and they're looking at your audience across everywhere you are on the internet. and pitching creators like, we think your audience is going to like, you know, jarred pickles and, seltzer water, whatever it is, like, I think that could work, but at the end of the day, it really depends on what the audience wants. If you're a comedian with a very low you're a comedian with a very young following, then maybe, custom suits is not your thing, so you just have to kind of really understand your audience. No different than when you're making the video or you're making the music, is what does your audience want? And the product has to be the same thing. As Shots right now, we're trying to treat products like a creator, and we want to turn products into creators. And that's why, I'm a big fan of this, Liquid Death. You know what I mean? Like, this is content. It is, people laugh. They ask questions. I had a call with their team last week about content ideas, and, it's like, this is content. This draws your attention. It's like, what is that? You want to know more? I've read everything on this all the labels, everything, just to get a kick out of it. And, it's all standard stuff that they need, legal stuff they need to put, but even like the fonts, I'm looking at it, it's just like got my attention. And that's turning a product into a content creator. And if a creator could get behind one of these and do that with the product, and you have these two things, is just that much more explosive. And you see a lot of YouTubers do that with merch right now. The best merch that sells right now is merch built around their content and their fandoms versus like a picture of their face with their name on it. Those don't really convert well. People don't really want to buy your name on a t-shirt. They want to buy something cool, that fun that you made, that has been incorporated into your content. So then they're part of the following. They're part of the squad. They're part of the the audience that you've built.
Yeah, and how much of this is now being empowered by the Stripes of the world, the Shopifys, all of these kind of infrastructure companies that have made it dead simple for creators to actually do this themselves? Or is it, even if those companies didn't exist, this was already a trend that kind of people were moving towards because you saw it happening where people weren't using Shopify, Stripe, and things like that?
Yeah, I don't think any of this is easily said to do if there was no Shopify. It's not, it wouldn't be something I would say, just get up and do it, because right now, when I tell you, and your audience and whoever's listening, or even our creators, is you don't have to worry about how to do this. You just have to worry about what to do and what to sell. You don't worry about how's the Shopify has made it so damn easy that it's not even like when we launched lilshop.com, which is our merch site, like Shopify and building properly Shopify was like action item number 8 on our like 20 thing to-do list. It wasn't before it used to be like, all right, build a website, figure this out, and have analytics, and figure out emails and all this. But now it's like, all right, it's like saying create an Instagram account for the brand. It's just like, that's not an important thing. More important thing is what to sell right now, the quality of it. Right now, that's the top 3 priorities to us with Little Shop and any of our consumer goods products is, build something that the audience loves, make sure it's of quality, and have great customer service, like Zappos level customer service. You know what I mean? So the person comes back. You did all this work to get them to go to the website and purchase and put in their credit card, and you want them to come back. And those things are what makes it important. And Shopify has made it a world where creators can focus on those 3 things and not worry about, how do I build a website? Who do I call? Do I outsource overseas? You know what I mean? Like, you don't have to worry about, I spent $50,000 on this thing. You don't have to worry about that, because that's what a website would cost at the level of Shopify when you're talking about all the back-end stuff that they provide, all the analytics, everything. You know what I mean? Like, it's not just a front-end thing, it's the back-end thing that makes it Shopify what it is.